Imagine winning millions of dollars in a casino. Not because you were lucky, not because you cheated, but because you noticed something no one else did.
Maybe the WPT is to start beheading people that cheat.
Now imagine the casino refusing to pay you. Would you call that justice or protection?
He's a very sharp player. He's a guy you just don't want in your joint. He's very, very smart. You know, he's got an edge, period.
In 2012, one of the most respected professional poker players in the world walked into Crockford's, one of London's oldest and most exclusive casinos, and walked out having won £7.7 million. He didn't alter the cards, he didn't use hidden devices, he didn't break a written rule.
Come on, man, stop, please.
It's nice material on that shirt.
Yet what he did triggered lawsuits in 2 countries and forced the UK Supreme Court to answer a question that still divides opinion. When someone beats the system, is that cheating or intelligence?
Yeah, obviously it's unacceptable, right, to cheat somebody. Right, it's like, that's unacceptable.
This is Dark Money Files, and today we're investigating Phil Ivey and the woman known in Baccarat circles as the Baccarat Queen, and how their strategy exposed a flaw the house never expected. Because this wasn't just about gambling, it was about power. By 2012, Phil Ivey had already won 10 World Series of Poker bracelets. He was considered one of the greatest poker players of his generation. Disciplined, analytical, emotionally controlled. But for this play, he partnered with Chung Yin Kelly's son. In Baccarat circles, she was often referred to as the Baccarat Queen for her deep understanding of the game and her obsessive attention to detail. Years earlier, she had been involved in disputes with casinos over alleged irregularities and developed a belief that card manufacturing flaws could create exploitable patterns. Where most players saw randomness, she saw structure. Together, they requested a private salon at Crockford's. Minimum bets in the hundreds of thousands of pounds. Before play began, they made precise requests: a specific brand of playing cards, purple Gemico, an automatic shuffler, and a Mandarin-speaking dealer. The casino approved every request. Nothing was hidden. Nothing was forced. At the table, Kelly's son asked the dealer to rotate certain lucky high-value cards 180 degrees before placing them back into the shoe. She framed it as cultural superstition. The dealer complied. What Crockford's did not immediately recognize was this: the backs of those Gemico cards had a subtle asymmetrical design, a minute inconsistency in the diamond pattern near the edges. Almost invisible, but not invisible to someone trained to detect it. By persuading the dealer to rotate specific high cards, Ivey and Son created orientation tells. The cards were not marked, not bent, not damaged, simply turned. And that change in orientation created information. Information that allowed them to identify high-value cards before they were dealt. This method is known as edge sorting. In standard Baccarat, the casino's edge is approximately 1%, a small but reliable mathematical advantage. By identifying high-value cards in advance, Ivey effectively reversed that edge. Expert analysis later suggested the duo may have created an advantage in the region of 6%. In high-stakes play, a 6% edge is enormous. It is not luck, it is leverage. Across 2 sessions in August 2012, Ivey won approximately £7.7 million. Crockford's initially paid out around £1 million. Then the casino withheld the remaining funds pending investigation. Surveillance footage was reviewed. Gaming experts were consulted. The conclusion: this was not random variance. It was engineered advantage. Crockford's filed a civil claim. Their argument was precise. Ivey had interfered with the integrity of the game, not by physically altering cards, but by influencing how they were presented to create an unfair advantage. Ivey's defense was equally clear. He did not tamper with equipment. He did not break written rules. He observed and capitalized on a flaw the casino failed to detect. If a system contains a weakness and a player identifies it through skill, is that cheating or mastery? The High Court ruled in favor of Crockford's. The Court of Appeal upheld the decision. In 2017, the UK Supreme Court unanimously sided with the casino. The ruling held that although Ivey did not believe he was dishonest, his conduct legally amounted to cheating, the defining phrase in interference with the integrity of the game. That wording expanded the interpretation of cheating beyond physical manipulation to intentional exploitation of structural weakness. But the story did not end in the United Kingdom. Across the Atlantic, the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City determined that Ivey and Son had used the same strategy there, winning nearly $10 million. Unlike Crockford's, the Borgata had already paid the funds. The casino filed suit to recover the winnings. In 2019, U.S. Marshals were authorized to seize funds connected to Ivey's tournament winnings to partially satisfy the civil judgment. What began as a private baccarat session had evolved into an international legal dispute spanning years. Now step back. Casinos are built on asymmetry. Every game favors the house. That is the foundation of the industry. But when players expose structural vulnerability, institutions respond defensively. If edge sorting were recognized as legitimate skill, casinos using asymmetrical cards could face widespread exposure, financial risk, reputational damage, operational scrutiny. The dispute was no longer about a single night in London. It was about control. Phil Ivey was never criminally convicted. No fraud charge, no prison sentence. But civil courts defined his advantage as crossing a boundary the institution deemed unacceptable. And that boundary is the real story. Power defines fairness. Institutions decide when intelligence becomes misconduct. Phil Ivey did not dismantle Crockford's, but he revealed a flaw, and powerful systems rarely reward exposure. They contain it. Next time, the setting shifts again. Not a laboratory, not a casino, but a network. Influence layered over influence. Connections that insulated power from scrutiny for years. Because in elite systems, losing money is one thing, losing control is another, and that story is far from over.